Welcome, and thank you for joining the online visitation overview training. For purposes of this training, family time is the family-friendly term to be utilized interchangeably with the term visitation to describe what is known as parent-child, sibling, and extended family member visitation. This training is intended to help you navigate the roles and responsibilities for family time during COVID-19 while supporting our families to maintain connections and work towards reunification. Due to the enhanced risk to older and vulnerable Californians and the fast rate of spread of COVID-19, the state and local government has implemented multiple preventative actions, including a statewide stay-at-home order. During this state of emergency, all previously authorized visitation must continue. Judge Cody's temporary order was made to suspend in-person visits between court-dependent children and youth in out-of-home placements and their parents, guardians, relatives, and others that are arranged by Human Services Agency. This order did not preclude us from providing reasonable efforts for visitation and ended as of April 20th. ACL 2025 outlines parameters when in-person visits do not occur for caregivers to utilize video conferencing apps such as FaceTime or Skype. The ACL also encourages increased phone calls with family members and other social contacts to provide the children and family members with some comfort. This type of contact may assist children, their siblings, and parents by occurring more often than it would have in a face-to-face visit. For visits after April 20th, 2020, the Judicial Council of California issued revisions to the emergency order requiring child welfare agencies to determine the manner of visitation to ensure the needs of the family are met. To modify the manner of visitation, we must consider public health directives, best interest of the child, and whether in-person visits can continue to be held safely. If the Child Welfare Agency changes the manner of visitation for a child and a parent or legal guardian in reunification, or for the child and a sibling, or a hearing is pending, the agency must notify the attorneys for the children and parents within 5 court days of the change. The agency does not have to automatically calendar any change in visitation within 5 court days. If an attorney objects to the change in manner of visitation, the attorney, not the agency, must ask the court to review the change within 14 days of the change. The attorney for the child or parent may ask the juvenile court to review the change in manner of visitation. The child or parent has the burden of showing that the change is not in the best interest of the child or is not based on current public health directives. Only if the agency wants to completely suspend any visitation does the agency need to calendar the case, because only the court can order a suspension of visits, and the court must make a specific finding that visitation is detrimental to the child. In virtual family time, both the child and the parent use either a smartphone, iPad, or webcam on a computer to video conference with each other. Many parents already use video conferencing technology such as FaceTime, Google Hangouts, Skype, and other programs to keep children and grandparents in touch with each other. Ideas to enhance the virtual connection may include the parent helping the child with distance learning homework, playing games together, working on a project, or learning new things. They can also be available as a listening ear for the child after a challenging day. These types of activities will support the parent in feeling more thoroughly involved in their child's daily life, and the child feels connected to their parent despite not being able to be with them in person as often as they would like. In a time of crisis, children may be comforted by seeing that their family is safe and that they remain available to them even if at a distance. Family time is important for child and parent well-being, as well as for efforts toward reunification. In-person visitation may only be replaced by virtual family time if a detriment finding is made in a particular case based on the facts unique to that case. All changes in manner of visitation during this time period must be made on a case-by-case basis, balanced by public health directives and best interest of the child, and take into consideration whether in-person visits may continue to be held safely. For children under 3 years old, every effort to maintain face-to-face visits should be made. Face-to-face visits and routines stopped very suddenly, and we have a responsibility to let the children know that their parents haven't disappeared and want to keep their connections. Benefits of virtual contact include providing a sense of stability to children and families, more frequent contact to meet physical, emotional, and developmental needs of the child, parent, and caregiver, customization to fit the needs of the child, including the length of time for visits, activities, and games, an opportunity to convey the feeling that I'm okay and you don't need to worry about me right now. We're going to make it through this, and I'll be here along the way. visual aspects to connect that are lost in a voice-only call, empowerment to youth to have a sense of control, letting them know that they are part of the connection. We believe statements are hope operationalized. Our team partners with families to navigate through challenging times. By holding hope, we support families as they increase motivation and build concrete pathways to heal and maintain family connections. Times of uncertainty can be related to COVID-19, but also being involved in the child welfare system is stressful on families, and additional times of uncertainty add to that stress. Take a moment to reflect and consider, what are the opportunities to engage and partner with families, to hear their voices and learn from them? We want family to feel connected, to not get frustrated by technical glitches, and to contact their social worker as soon as possible to get a fix, to propose solutions to barriers that may arise. It's about teaming with the family. Creative examples for parents to use during virtual family time may include recordings of reassuring messages, reading stories, and/or singing lullabies in order to keep increased connection and share family strengths. The caregiver's role starts with the caregiver seeing the value of maintaining family connections. Caregivers are vital team members and central to the success of virtual family time occurring. Teaming between the social worker, the caregiver, the family, and available supports is critical in maintaining and supporting the child's well-being through virtual visits until in-person visits can resume. Caregiver provides technology, assistance during family time as needed, supervision, activities and games for the family as needed, supports creative connections from child's family members, showing recordings of songs and stories, etc., if provided by the family, support for the child before, during, and after for family time, and a feedback loop to the social worker of how visits are going. Remind caregivers of supports in place for them. Social workers can reach out for supports for caregivers as well. An important role of the field-based case aid is teaming with social workers, supporting families, gathering data, and providing frequent feedback. In addition, the assigned field-based case aid will schedule the virtual appointment on an ongoing basis with all parties and assist families. Field-based case aids will also remind all parties of visitation via text on the day or morning of leading up to the scheduled visit. A field-based case aid supervisor is collecting data to monitor our efforts to provide consistent and meaningful contact during this pandemic. This data is compiled and provided to the executive team, managers, and supervisors. Field-based case aid supervisors are also tending to ensuring that field-based case aids are reading the FSRs, providing supervision to staff, and attending to the parallel process. That is, staff provide support to our families, and supervisors provide support to our staff. We know successful reunification is driven by the frequency and quality of family time. We need to continually explore creative solutions to increase the frequency, duration, and quality of family time during this pandemic. Family connections are essential to the well-being of the child and should be maintained consistently with screening protocols and social distancing recommendations, including outside visits. The social worker should consider extended visits if a court order permits and the youth has had several overnight visits or is due to return home soon, or whether children may be reunified with their parents in an expedited manner if the child's safety would not be jeopardized. When planning for virtual family time, the social worker will attend to the following: discuss privacy and capacity for virtual family time with all parties, ensure family time frequency is at a minimum consistent with court orders, and encourage as much virtual family time as possible. Facilitate a family time schedule that is responsive to the unique needs of the child and family. Partner with team members such as field-based case aides, supervisors, and managers to ensure families can access the resources and supports that they need. Submit an FSR for virtual family time in the same way that it would be sent in for in-person family time scheduling. Assess the needs of the family. Some families may choose to continue face-to-face family time and incorporate virtual visitation, while others may choose to use virtual visitation exclusively or face-to-face time exclusively. Encourage and support family. We don't want parents to feel that they are stagnated or that they've lost their progress or stalled. Continue to take any opportunity to assess for liberalization of visits of all children in out-of-home placement. Consider whether there is an opportunity to move from strictly supervised to monitored. The social worker, in consultation with their supervisor, will consider safety issues, protective factors, benefit from case plan services, and behavioral changes in making determinations for liberalizing visits. Together with social workers, supervisors will continue to assess the quality and frequency of family time as well as the liberalization components of the families. They will create an opportunity to have a conversation with staff about logistics, come up with creative solutions for families that may be struggling with the various challenges, for example, transitioning to virtual, and share successes. Additional tools for supervision include data, our core practice model, safety organized practice, structured decision making, and safe measures to guide and support decisions surrounding liberalization of visits and establishing virtual family time visits. Again, we must attend to the parallel process. Just as we are supporting families, we want to continue to support our staff. This time of uncertainty creates increased stresses for all. Recognize that staff are doing their best and support them in how to adapt to change. Be empathetic and responsive to their needs while they are supporting others. The supervisor should connect the social worker or family with available resources. This visual shows the steps to scheduling virtual family time, beginning by submitting the completed FSR form to 88inbox@ventura.org. Once received, an assignment will be made to a field-based case aide. The field-based case aide will arrange and supervisor monitor and then document virtual family time in CWS within 2 business days as a video chat. A few resources that could help are listed here. However, there are potentially many more resources out there waiting to be discovered and shared. Perhaps this is an opportunity for staff to be community together and share resources and knowledge, to talk to your networks, supervisors, social workers, field-based case aides, etc., regarding resources if needed. Think creatively to obtain resources for families. Be adaptive to change and crisis. Be proactive to help caregivers become comfortable with electronic platforms for family time with birth families. This health crisis has created an opportunity for us to be innovative and purposeful in how we support our families. The Family Time Implementation Team will continue to memorialize these practices and provide structure around our visitation practices to be family-centered. Field-based case aides will continue to be utilized as a support to families. Thank you to the Virtual Family Time Subcommittee for their work in developing the policy, data collection, and work aids to ensure our families maintain contact during this challenging time. It is important for all of us to continue to have hope and help families to navigate through these uncertain times. Please reach out to the subcommittee members listed here with any questions, coaching, or clearing of the path as needed. And lastly, thanks to all of you for your enduring commitment to serving children and families. Thank you.